Okay, guys. So let's move further. So before we move further, let's brush it up the things what we have done in the last session. Okay. So guys, what is Azure Data Engineering? So Azure Data Engineering is nothing but, guys, everyone. So what is Azure Data Engineering? So Azure Data Engineering is nothing but it's a bunch of cloud services. Okay, guys. It's a bunch of cloud services. It's a bunch of cloud services. So that means many cloud services are integrated into the Azure Data Engineering. So what we do by using the Azure Data Engineering? Huh? Everyone. So Azure is nothing but the name used by the Microsoft. It is the name used by the Microsoft to market their cloud services. Where, guys, to market their cloud services. Where, okay, where data is nothing but what, guys? Information. Data is nothing but what? Information. And the next one, what is it? Engineering is nothing but, guys, application of techniques. Okay. So in broad, we can say application of techniques on the data. Okay, application of techniques, guys, application of techniques on the data by using the Microsoft Azure is nothing but Azure Data Engineering. So as I told you, the Azure Data Engineering is a bunch of cloud services. The following are the services we have it, guys. The first one we call it as what? ADF, that is nothing but Azure Data Factory. And then we have what's it, guys? Azure Databricks, Azure Databricks ADB. Then we have, guys, everyone, the Synapse. Okay, Azure Data Factory, Azure Databricks. Then we have the Synapse. Okay, and then we have what's it, guys? Azure Data Factory, Databricks, Synapse, and machine learning (ML). Then we have the AI, which we call it as a open AI, guys. Okay, and then we have the next one that is called as what? Azure Fabric. So these are all the services. Many more are there, guys, but I'm listing few of them. So as you know that the Azure Data Engineering is a bunch of cloud services. So now, guys, so when it comes to this, using the following cloud services, what are the tasks we can perform it, guys? The following are the tasks we can perform it. What is that? The first one is called as what? Data migration. Then we have what's it, guys? Data integration. Okay. Then we have what's it, guys? Data summarization. Okay. Data migration, data integration, data summarization, and then we have what's it, guys? Everyone, and then we have what's it? Data summarization, and finally we have the data visualization. Data visualization. So these are all the, guys. These are all the we can say, guys. These are all the that is nothing but that is a task we can perform by using the Azure Data Engineering. So the guys, this you know very clearly because already we have been seeing this. Okay, so these are all the tasks we can perform by using the Azure Data Engineering. So you know already what is data migration, data integration, data summarization, data visualization. Let's move beyond this today. Okay, guys. So what is that you have it? So can you see here? I will just even brush it up data. So what in my data, guys? The whole story here, the Azure Data Engineering or any data engineering, guys, whether it is Azure Data Engineering or any other data engineering. Okay. So basically, this whole data engineering is dependent on what's it, guys? Data only. Yes. So what is that? The first task what we have it is nothing but accumulation of data. That is gathering of the data. So guys, always we get the data from what's it, guys? Source of data. We get the data from the source of data. What are the source we can have? Many sources, such as I can say, guys, human generated data, human generated data, and then we can say machine generated data, guys, machine generated data, human generated data, machine generated data, guys, and then we can also have certain data which is gathered from the social networking sites, and also we can say, guys, live streaming process data, And then also we can get the data from the IoT sensors. Okay. So these are all the various sources from where we can expect the data. But these all sources generates, what is that, guys? A data that is nothing but, what is it, guys? They generate the massive amount of data that we call it as what? Big data. That we call it as what? Big data, guys. That we call it as what? Big data. So when we talk about the big data, guys, everyone, the big data basically, yes, everyone, the big data is nothing but, guys, basically, we have what said, the big data is nothing but, it is classified into three categories. What are those? The first one we can say, guys, yeah, the first one you can say, what's it, guys? Structured data. You can say, guys, structured data. You know already what is structured data. And then your, what's it, guys? Semi-structured data. Then the third one we have it as what, guys? Everyone. The third one we have it as what, guys? Structured, semi-structured, and next one is what? Unstructured data. So guys, these are the three varieties of data we can have. What's it? Structured data, semi-structured data, and as well as the unstructured data. So guys, you know already what is structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. So what is structured data, guys? The structured data is nothing but was the data which is kept in the proper form of a table. That is in the form of what's it, guys? Rows and columns. So already we have discussed this. Okay. So rows and columns data is called as what? Semi-structured data, guys. Sorry, structured data. And then you have also get semi-structured data. Semi-structured data means what? The data which is kept in the form of JSON files. Okay. JSON files, or the data which is kept in the form of XML files, or the data which is kept under the form of what? HTML files. So these are all called as what? Semi-structured data, guys. Okay. And then we have what, guys? Unstructured data, everyone. Unstructured data. So unstructured data means what, everyone? The data which does not follows or does not has any structure is called as what? Unstructured data. Is called as what? Unstructured data. So what is unstructured data? Guys, the normal photos you may have it in your mobile phone. Am I right? And then you have the videos. Okay. Then you have what's it? Chat histories. Chat histories. Okay. Then we have what's it? Voice notes. All these are called as what, guys? Unstructured data. So, guys, whether you say it is a structured, guys, whether you say it is a structured, semi-structured, or the unstructured, whether you say it is a structured, semi-structured, or the unstructured, guys, okay, the data engineer is going to deal with all this data here. Okay, the main task of the data engineer to deal with what is it, guys? All this kind of data. That is called as what? The name it itself, engineer. The name it itself, it says what's it? Data engineer means a person who know the mechanism of the data, how to handle what kind of a data. That is nothing but the data engineering. Okay, guys. Now, you, I guys, everyone. So you know already like these are the three type of different data we have it. But actually, how to handle this data in Azure? That means where to store this data in Azure. Okay, so guys, when you talk about the data in Azure, we store this data, guys. In Azure, we store this data in the form of what? Azure storages. In the form of what is it, guys? Azure storages. We store the data in the form of what? Azure storages. We store the data in the form of what, guys? Everyone? Azure storages. So now tell me, what are the Azure storages we have it? Everyone, what are the Azure storages we have it? So in Azure, guys, we have the following storages. What are those? The first one we can say, guys, almost all 90 plus storages. How many? 90 plus storages, guys. In Azure, we have how many storages, guys? Everyone? 90 plus storages. We have what's that? 90 plus storages. So almost all, guys, we have how many storages? 90 plus storages in Azure. Okay, guys, 90 plus storages in Azure. Every storage will have its own use and purpose. Let's see all of them one by one. The first storage, which we have it here, guys. The first one is called as what? Azure Blob Storage. Now, guys, when you talk about the Azure Blob Storage, so what is my Azure Blob Storage? Guys, everyone, So the blob storage. Yeah, are you there, guys? Everyone, please respond. Guys, we are getting into the subject. I want you people to interact. Please respond. Are you able to get it, everyone? Because me talking from one side, that is okay.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, okay. That's better. Okay, so guys, so Azure Blob Storage. So means what, guys? Azure Blob Storage is nothing but what? It is the very basic storage in Azure. It is the very basic storage in Azure, guys, and it can store any kind of a data. That means what? Everyone, that means what? It can store any kind of data means what, guys? The first one is what's that, guys? Structured data. Everyone, the first one, it can store what's that, guys? Structured data. And the second one, we can say what is it, guys? Semi structured data. Structured data, semi-structured data, and the next one is what's that, guys? Unstructured data. Structured data, semi-structured data, and as well as the unstructured data. So these are all the type of data we can store it in the Azure Blob Storage. That means the Azure Blob Storage is the very basic storage here, guys. Okay, basic storage, and it can store any kind of data. That is whether you have a tabular data or JSON data, XML data, or the data unstructured, that is in the form of what is that, guys? That is photos, pictures, or any other. So any kind of data you store it will be stored into the Azure Blob Storage, which is nothing but the basic storage, guys. Which is nothing but what's that basic storage you have in Azure, which is nothing but what? The very basic storage in Azure, guys, which is nothing but the very basic storage in Azure. So where when we talk about this, it is there is a drawback here for the Azure Blob Storage. What is that? It is a limited storage. It is a limited storage. So guys, it has only the limited data to store. Everyone, it has the limited data to store, guys. Everyone, it has the limited data to store. Everyone, it has the limited data to store, not more than that. Okay, limited data to store, guys. So when we talk about the everyone Azure Blob Storage, so it has a limited data to store. That means there is some limitation to store the data, not beyond this. What is the limit? That limit is what? 500 TB. Okay, guys. You cannot store the data more than 500 TB in a blob storage. So hence, to overcome this, because you may have massive amount of data, guys, in the real time actually, you may have massive amount of data. You cannot have a limited data, and you cannot adjust yourself with the limited data. If you have data like this, you can't adjust it. Am I right? Because in the real time when you work, you get the huge and huge volume of the data on a daily basis, guys. And you have to, as a data engineer, you must and should handle the data, and you should store the data. So where to store, how to store? Because the Azure Blob Storage is not allowed to store more than, yes, guys, more than 500 TB. Am I right? So how to store such kind of thing? So how to store the data beyond that? So for that, they have overcome here, guys. They have overcome with one. What is that you have it, guys? With one, they have overcome with one more storage that is called as what? Azure Data Lake Gen 2. What is that? Azure Data Lake Gen 2, guys. So what is Azure Data Lake Gen 2? Azure Data Lake means generation 2. The Azure Data Lake Gen 2 is nothing but what? Generation 2, guys. Generation 2. So here the Azure Data Lake Gen 2 has the capacity to store any kind of data, whether you have a structured data, whether you have a semi-structured data, or you have what is it, guys? Unstructured data. So any kind of data we can store it into the Azure Data Lake Gen 2. Okay, guys, Generation 2. But here, what is the advantage you have it? This is, guys, this is here you have it. What is it? The data stored unlimited form. That is nothing but unlimited. Unlimited data is stored here, guys. No limitation. You can store the data with no limitation. You can store the data with what? No limitation. There is actually no limitation to store the data, guys. It's an unlimited data. It's an what's it, guys? Unlimited data. Okay. It's an unlimited data, guys. It's an unlimited data, guys. So you can not store, guys. You can, there is Azure Data Lake Gen 2 is nothing but what? It can store unlimited data. There is no limitation for storing this data. There is no limitation for what? Storing this data, guys. Okay, it's called as what? Unlimited storage here. Okay. Azure Data Lake Gen 2 is nothing but unlimited storage. So now the next one. After this, guys, what actually difference you have it? Here the data is recorded in the form of DFS format. What is DFS format, guys? Distributed file format. Distributed file format. Distributed file format, DFS format. Means what, guys? Suppose you have a 1,000 rows are there. In a file, you have, what is it? 1,000 rows are there. You wanted to divide that 1,000 rows into 4 different files, where each file should consist of, what is it, guys? Where each file where each file, guys, where each file should consist of, there is 4 files, you have to divide it equally. There is a file which has 1,000 rows. Everyone listen it carefully. I wanted to divide the data equally into 5 different files. Tell me now, what is the amount of rows allocated to each file, guys? Now tell me, please. Huh? The question is that, everyone, the question is that, guys, everyone, the question is that I have 1,000 rows data file is there. I wanted to distribute that file equally in 4 different files. Tell me now, what is the amount of data allocated to each file, guys? Yeah,
250 rows.
yeah. I want to divide it across 5 files, no? Okay, 4 files means 250
200.
rows.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
200.
or else 200 it can be. So where Askin is here. So that means the file is distributed equally into 4 or 5 parts. Am I right? So that distribution is actually nothing but what? Distributed file format. Okay, as of now, you can understand this. I will explain you in detail how the distribution takes place. What is the type of distribution? How does it actually internally stores? Everything we will discuss it in detail. Okay, guys. So as of now, you can say the data in the Azure Data Lake Gen 2 is stored in the advanced form, that is called what? A distributed file format. That is called as what? Distributed file format. Then, apart from this, guys, one more thing. Between these two, you have also one more storage was there, but right now it has retired. But I will tell you for information. Azure Data Lake Gen 1 was there, guys. Azure Data Lake Gen 1 was also there. Now it has retired, so we need not discuss it about, we need not discuss the about the same. Okay, it has retired now. Okay. It is retired. Okay, guys, it is retired now, but still we can, guys, everyone, still we can know this. Okay, Azure Data Lake Gen 1, Azure Data Lake Gen 1. Okay, it is retired here in this June 2024, guys. June 2024. It retired in June 2024. So we like replacing, guys. It has retired in it play in there is something, but the Azure Data Lake Gen 2 has replaced the Gen 1 here,
One more
guys.
thing around. One more thing around that.
Pardon me. Just put yourself in the mute, everyone. This is a recorded session, guys. Everyone, please. The section is being there is on the recording. So I want everyone to just put it in onto this, silent mode. Guys, everyone. You have said the Azure Data Lake Gen 1 was already retired. So hence you need not worry, but just for the knowledge sake, you must and should know what is the Azure Data Lake Gen 1. Then, guys, the next one is the third one, the important storage. Guys, generally we call it as what, guys, everyone? Azure, Azure SQL database. What's that? Azure SQL database. So means, guys, what, everyone? The Azure SQL database is what? The data will be stored, guys. The data will be stored, or data can be stored even in the Azure SQL database. So what is Azure SQL database, guys? Everyone, the Azure SQL database, generally we call it as what? SQL server. SQL server we call, na? Guys, everyone, what is SQL server? SQL server is an on-premises. Everyone, the SQL server is an on-premises, where Azure SQL is, what is it, guys? It is a cloud database. It's a cloud database, but same thing. The rules, constraints, okay, guys, primary key, foreign key, all this can be common. Same thing it can have. The only thing is that the Azure, there is nothing but SQL server is on premises, and this is Azure SQL database is a cloud, guys, cloud database. But here, if you talk about the database, there is only one rule. What is that rule, guys? We can store only one kind of data. What is that? we can store the structured data. We can store what's it, guys? Structured data. We can store what's it, guys? Structured data, but no other type of data is stored here except to the structured data, guys. Except to the structured data. Structured data means what, guys? The data which is just recorded in the form of a table. That is in the form of what's it, guys? Rows and columns. That is in the form of what? Rows and columns, guys. That is in the form of what? Rows and columns. That is in the form of what? Rows and columns, guys. The next one is fourth one, guys. What is the fourth one? You have it, everyone. Azure SQL database. Then the next one is what is it, guys? Azure Cosmos DB. So, guys, what do you mean Cosmos DB, guys? Cosmos DB is the another, a database, or it is a trending database, you can say. It's a trending right now, guys. It's a trending database right now. You can say it's what's a trending database where everyone, it's a trending database where you can store, guys. Generally, database means what? Only structured data is supported. No other kind of data is supported except the structure. But the Azure Cosmos DB has the capacity, or it has a storage where we can store what's it, guys? Structured data. That means the data in the form of a table, we can store it. Okay. And as well as we can also store what's it, guys? Semi-structured. What's it? We can also store the semi-structured data. So now you must be getting it out. How? When you use the word database, how? Because how? Because only in the database you can store what's that? Structured data. But how it can store the semi-structured, though it has what's it, guys? Though it is labeled as a database, how it can store semi-structured? Because of the reason called, what is it, guys? Very important reason called what? No SQL. That means there will be no SQL language used here. Getting my point? The Cosmos DB, guys, the Cosmos DB, or else you can also say what's it, guys? MongoDB. Okay, MongoDB. All these are what are this? These are called as what, guys? Everyone, MongoDB. Okay, or we can say Cosmos DB. These are all called as what? Semi-structured data, or semi, that is something what? These are all called as what? Database with no SQL. Database with no SQL. That means we don't use the SQL language here, guys. SQL rules did not follow here. We did not follow the rules. So how many rules we have it for the SQL? Yes, guys. Yeah, 11 rules we have it. Now, so you need not follow the 11 rules of the EF code, guys. That is author of SQL. Okay. So all these are the things we have it. Okay. Then the next one. What is it you have it, guys? The sixth type of data storage. We can say what is it, guys? Azure, Azure Synapse Analytics. Azure Synapse Analytics. So, guys, everyone, what do you mean Azure Synapse Analytics, guys? Azure Synapse Analytics. What's that? Azure Synapse Analytics means what, guys? Everyone, Azure Synapse Analytics. What's that? Azure Synapse Analytics. So when you talk about the Azure Synapse Analytics, guys, everyone, the Azure Synapse Analytics, everyone, the Azure Synapse Analytics is nothing but it is the data warehouse of Azure, guys. So, guys, you have what's the data warehouse of Azure. That means the Azure has the data warehouse, guys. The Azure has the data warehouse that we can say it as what, guys? Synapse. That we can say it as what, guys? Everyone, Synapse. That we can say it as what? Synapse here. Okay. So the Azure data warehouse that we can say what's that, guys? Synapse here. Okay. So let's try to see this, guys. Azure Synapse Analytics. So we can say the Azure Synapse Analytics is nothing but, everyone, the Azure Synapse Analytics is nothing but it is the data warehouse of Azure, guys. It is the data warehouse of Azure. So data warehouse means what, guys? Data warehouse is the final layer of the data, guys. So where the data is stored at the final stage, where the data is stored at the final stage, guys, final stage or the final layer. From there, the data is reported directly. So Azure Synapse Analytics is nothing but the data warehouse of Azure. And obviously, when it's a data warehouse, guys, it can store only one kind of data. What is that data? Everyone, what's the data it can store? Structured. No other type of data is stored here, guys, except the structured. Except the structure. it cannot store any kind of a data, guys, except the structured data, guys. That is called as what? Azure Synapse Analytics. Okay. So, guys, Azure Synapse Analytics is the data warehouse of Azure. In the same way, guys, what is the data warehouse of Amazon Web Services? Everyone, Amazon Web Services data warehouse is what? Redshift. In the same way, GCP data warehouse, guys, what's it? Data warehouse of GCP, guys? That is called as what? BigQuery. So likewise, guys, likewise, you have what's it? Everyone. Likewise, you have what's it, guys? Everyone. Likewise, you have what's it? Many data warehouses are there, everyone. Okay, but here the data warehouse of Azure is what's it? Azure Synapse Analytics is the data warehouse of Azure, everyone. Okay, then the next one is after this. Okay, as we have already discussed that we have 90 plus storages. How many? 90 plus storages we have it. But we have discussed only six now. What about rest of it? How the 90 plus looks like, where it is. So for that, let's try to go to the login page for the Azure. So guys, today now I will show you even how to log in, what are the steps you have to take forward. Because because from the Monday onwards, directly we'll start the practicals, guys. So as we begin the practicals, I want everyone to create your own subscriptions and be ready for the same, guys. So just do one thing. All of you need a debit or credit card. One debit or credit card, guys. One debit or credit. Both are not needed. Only one debit or credit, guys. Because they will charge only 2 rupees for the subscription here. Only 2 rupees, guys. And the 2 rupees also will be returned it back to you in 8 days, next coming days. So how to log into this Azure page? So use azure.com, guys. Use what's that? Azure.com. Use it what? Azure.com. Use it what here, everyone? Azure.com. So I'm opening the page here, guys, everyone. I'm opening the page here, guys, everyone. Just have a look on this. I hope this is visible to every one of you. My web page. Are you able to see this, guys, everyone? Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
So now, guys, just type it here, azure.com. Is it here what? Azure.com. So this is the page you have it. Then you can click on what's it is get started with Azure. You can start with what, guys? Everyone, get started with Azure. So click on this, get started with Azure. And now can you see it? Try Azure for free and pay as you go model. Pay as you go model means the day one, if you start using it, guys, you have to pay the cost. Okay. So for every activity, you have to pay the cost. So I don't recommend for you to go initially with the pay as you go model. Just go with what? Try Azure for free, guys. And now here you have to sign it, guys. So you have to give your mail ID, some mail ID you have to give it, guys. So okay, guys, let's try to give it here. The mail ID I'm using the can share cloud innovatives. Okay, guys, I'll use it here. 2024. Some mail ID I'll use it here, guys. And now this mail ID, click on the new. Can you see? It is asking for what? Password. That means, guys, that means here, can you see? My subscription is already there. That means my subscription is what, guys? Everyone already there. That's the reason it's asking for the username and password. Okay. So let it be no problem. So can you see? Stay sign in. Click on yes. Now, guys, the actual comes here. Can you see? Looks like you already have an account. You want to go with the pay as you go. That means only an existing subscription in your account. Use an existing subscription in your account. Azure for free account is only available to new user and is limited to only one per customer. That means only one per customer is allowed here. That means you can change the mail ID. They will track you with the mail ID now. If you change your mail ID, you can create as many as that's not a problem. So sign up for pay as you go model. So that's it, guys. Click on this pay as you go model. Ah, the first one, once you come here into the pay as you go model, guys, we require to select the agreement. What's that? I understand that Microsoft may contact me about my free account. I agree the subscription offer and details. Yes, I submit the same. And then I would like Microsoft to share my information with selected partners so that I can retrieve relevant information about the products and services. Yes, you allow it, guys. And then you can say what's it? Read our privacy statement for information and how your data is handled. Okay, that's fine. Once you understand this, click on the next, guys. Now, here you have to give your mobile number, some mobile number, guys, where you will receive the text. Where you will receive the text. Okay. So you can mention any mobile number, guys, whatever the mobile number you have it. Okay. So with it is an Indian number or it is in your country localized number. That is nothing but if you're from US, you will have the US number so that you can select it here. So from which country you have it. So right now I'm in India, so I'm using my number. So guys, text me. So I'm using the text here. Verification code will be sent to my guys. Verification code will be sent to what's it, guys? Verification code will be sent to my registered mobile number. Okay. So once I can see, I'm entering it zero. Everyone 017 uh, 871. So this is the code. I'm verifying it. Once it is done, guys, everyone can you see it? Now it's done. Identification is done. Now you will have to enter the debit or credit card details. So guys, can you see it? Some debit or credit card details you have to give it. So after this, again, what is it you have it, guys? Click on the next option and click on the sign up. Your address you have to give it, service address. Can you see it? Service address, everything you have to give it. So once you give your service address, everything, click on the sign up option, guys. Click on the sign up option. So finally, once you click on the sign up, everybody, once you click on the sign up, guys, you will be rerouted back to this particular page. What is that page? I will show you just a minute, everyone. I will show you the page, which page will be rerouted back. Just 1 minute, guys. Now, everyone, this will be rerouted back to this page. I'm sharing you the screen here. This page that is called as what? Can you see it, guys? Portal.azure.com. Portal.azure.com. Portal. What's it, guys? Azure.com. So this is the final page you have it. Portal.azure.com. What's it? Portal.azure.com. So here I can say, guys, first of all, log into this azure.com, fill up all the details. And once you fill up all the details, guys, you can give it here, the portal.azure.com. This is the final page, will be rerouted back. So once you are rerouted to this particular page, guys, then we can start here. Can you see everyone? So click on more services. These are all the services you have it. As I told you, that we have about said 90 plus storage services are there. These are all the services you have it. The Azure Synapse Analytics is one of the storage service. Okay, guys. So these are all the storages we have it. Services, various services, not only the storage service, Okay, many more services are there. Integration services are there. Okay, guys. Okay, all these are the various services. Okay, so you have all these are the services. If you count it or calculate it, it will be 90 plus storages. How many? 90 plus storages, as we have already discussed here, guys. That's it. Okay. So that's the one here, guys, everyone. And the next one after this, yeah, please tell me. So once, guys, everything is ready, so we will start up with the first product. That is, guys, we are going to start with the first service here on Monday. That is nothing but, guys, we are going to start with the Azure Data Factory. ADF, we are going to use it here, guys. Okay, we are going to use the ADF first. Okay, we're going to use the ADF first, guys. So we will use the ADF first, and then we'll go with the ADB. Okay, then we'll have the Synapse. So as I already told you the breakup. So guys, you will have what's it? 25 sessions. Okay, guys. So altogether, what's it? 30 sessions on this, and almost all 30 sessions on this, guys. That is almost all 60 sessions. And we'll have what's it? Here you'll have it 5 sessions on this one and 5 sessions on the project implementation. Okay. So almost all you can say is 70 hours a session you will have it on this. Okay. 70, it may vary. Sometimes it can be 80, 90 also. Okay. Based on the subject and based on the requirement, we will just keep on changing. This is not a constant one, but maximum you can see 70 to 75 hours we will be completing this. Okay. So, and the sessions we are going to start it from Monday onwards, guys. Monday we'll have a session at 9 a.m. everybody. Okay. Monday we'll have a session at what? 9 a.m. everybody, guys. Okay. So that's it, guys. And any questions if you have, please go ahead and ask me now. No questions?
Sorry,
Okay, guys.
hi,
Please.
this is Murli. So I have one question regarding the timelines of this training and all.
Uh,
So how many months it will take to cover all these topics?
it will take almost all 2 months, guys.
Two,
2 months.
2 months. Okay, so in the Databricks and all, are you guys teaching like Apache Spark, I mean
Yeah,
Spark,
PySpark.
PySpark, yeah, PySpark and everything, right? In depth,
Yes, 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 yes.
the Unity catalog and everything.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and also in Azure Synapse, I mean, I'm new to this one. So, Azure Synapse also, we have this Delta live tables and all everything, right? You will be
Yes,
covering
yes, yes,
everything
yes.
related to
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay. So, are we also covering anything related to Power BI?
Power BI means I'll show you the basic integration if you want.
I mean, it is not part of this data integration and all,
Yeah,
but I'm just asking whether it will be covered. If it
no,
is not,
not really. Not really.
okay. And also for when we take this Azure subscription, it will be like 1 month trial or else like 1 month trial only, right?
It will be 28 days, 1 month of free trial. But
Okay.
later on, what you can do is you can change your mail ID, you can recreate one more.
But we will be already doing like we already done build some pipelines or else any projects or something. Then if we take a new subscription, then it will be all gone, right? Is there any way to
Obviously, obviously. That's
transfer
gone.
everything?
See, corporates doesn't go with that. They will go with the pay-as-you-go model only. I'm
Okay,
talking about the individual front.
okay. And also, are you also covering this DevOps, like CI/CD pipeline?
CI/CD pipelines will cover it.
Okay. Okay. Uh, like in a project's perspective, are you going to show us like how we deployment parameter files and everything, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Definitely,
So,
we will see.
okay. So, as you said, there are three types of data: structured, unstructured, and semi-structured. Are we dealing with all these? Are you going to teach us how to
Yes.
handle all these three types of data?
Yeah. How to deal with all this data and what's the procedure for accessing this data? I'll show you.
Okay. Uh, uh, so we will be dealing with Azure Data Factory first, then
Bricks
uh,
again.
Bricks after that.
Synapse.
Okay. So after completing all these topics, are we? You will be teaching us in a one end-to-end project as well, right?
Yeah.
So what kind of project are we going to deal?
It is a generalized practice project. You will have it.
I mean, is it related to any like real-time data or else like static data? Uh,
No, basically, what we'll do, we'll take various kind of data. Okay.
okay,
So, wherein the data, everyday report, the data is changing and updating. So, how to design the pipelines and how to design the things where automatically it should update the files, that is data here on the data warehouse, and how to create the data warehouse, and the data should be automatically transferred to the delta life table. Okay, this kind of a scenario we will just create it and we will see. See, the basically the thing is that we will see it as a process of practice. That's the only important thing.
okay. I mean, like in a real-time situations, like we will be having multiple scenarios, right? So I'm just thinking, I'm just asking you, like whether we will be covering any, like in a project level, so that if we complete this course
See,
and
whatever
we
we
get
see
into a
here in the
project,
training, see,
yeah,
whatever we see in the training, that is only to make you capable of doing the things in the realistic world.
yeah,
That's it. So if you have to put your own efforts to
yeah,
make out that, obviously. So the thing is
yes.
that you can't say, or even I can't promise you that you will see the life project. That project only you will see. That's all meaningless, no?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay. So, like after completion of this course, do we have any like placement support, mock interviews, uh,
See,
anything
basically, I
like
will
that?
give you the resumes and all, and interviews and all. You can check with the management. They will take care of it. Okay.
Okay, 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 okay. So, okay, I understand.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, oh, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, guys. Any other questions? If you have any,
Yeah,
please.
yes, Samir. Actually, in this like overall modules like Azure Data Factory and Azure Synapse and Databricks and Python, these all will cover with the PySpark, correct?
Yes, obviously.
Yeah, but whenever that this Python and PySpark some USQL in Azure Databricks, like uh, what is the connection between that with Azure Synapse? Like we have two type of Azure Synapse, like pooling and dedicated. Like how can we proceed with?
Dedicated is, basically, inside the pool, you will have the dedicated. That is nothing but it will create two type of, datas. That is called the virtual, this thing, and dedicated SQL pool. So basically, that's a complete, it's an architecture. I can explain you in detail once we get into the subject. Okay. So all these things I will take care of it. Don't worry on this.
Okay, but in this like whatever modules from your end, like covering that Azure Data Factory,
Mhm.
that modules will be with the SQL Server basic concepts also will cover, correct?
Yeah, obviously. The basics of SQL server, or you're talking about SQL language?
Yeah, I see. Whatever you were talking on starting of the class, like structured, unstructured, and
Yeah,
semi-structured,
yeah.
some three
Yes,
different
yes.
of modules. Like, but SQL is the structured query language. But what about the
Obviously.
unstructured and
We
semi-structured?
will see now. Without SQL also we will see that.
Yeah, without SQL means like we have like different databases like MySQL and Postgres, SQL, Oracle.
Hmm.
These all will be there, but everything is structural
See,
manner
I
only.
can show you the see, as a data engineer, it is important for you how you can integrate the data from them and get the data. That's the important factor.
Yeah, ETL to Azure, that MSBI we have SSIS also is there. Right?
Yes, yes.
Uh, but instead of that script task, like how that Azure Data Factory will override that type of Excel loading and some flat file loadings and some raw files, some different loadings we have in SSIS.
Yes, of course. See, basically, for that, what we do is we can integrate those directly with the data factory pipelines. With the data factory pipelines. So we what we do is, if already the script is there or the things are there, we generally try to integrate them rather than creating a new one for every process, just to cut short the cost and time for the same. Okay. In that way, we'll just try to design the things.
Yeah, correct. But see that instead of that .NET C# code something we are using in loading the dot Excel files. But
Okay.
vice versa, like here, any Python script we need to use for that.
Yes, obviously. PySpark script is needed for the same.
Yeah, but how many days of this total? 60 days or more than 60 days?
It will be more than 60 days only.
Like approximately how many days we can expect?
You can expect around, I told you, 70 plus.
Yeah, but almost like total 70 plus days in case that Python and PySpark is the more important here because of Azure Databricks. Without Azure Databricks, we cannot do any.
We cannot do that, obviously. The most important one, what we are going to cover, is the Databricks, guys. Data Factory is basically drag and drop job mostly.
Yeah, but Databricks also like with help of Azure Synapse, that Parquet file we will load, correct?
Yes, obviously. Parquet
But
file
when
will load it into the Delta Lake.
yeah, in that Parquet file, they will return some clusters and notebooks with help of PySpark.
Yes, obviously.
But why? What is the use of Python then?
Python is not needed. Who said Python is needed? I'm talking about PySpark only. That's a language
Okay.
option. You have it in to use it in the Databricks work notebook. There's
But
a language option you have it, but mostly we will use a PySpark here.
but in Synapse also we don't know, we don't want learning anything because some almost like how that SQL will be there, same way this Synapse also will be there, correct?
Yes, yes, yes. Synapse is also basically so mostly it's a there is a GUI, graphical user interface. We don't need to really write the code in that even as well.
Okay, but Azure Databricks is the most important here because Data Factory
Yeah,
and the
that is the
SSIS will
main.
be,
Yes, yes.
yeah, both all
The
will be
main.
same. But how that SSIS package will we have one transformation in ADF. We can directly call SSIS package, but how that script task will trigger from ADF, it will be possible.
See, basically, you can call that notebook here.
Yeah, yeah, notebook. Yeah, we can call. Yeah,
Notebook, we can call it here into this, and as well as we can design as well as the pipelines also.
but
Okay.
what? Yeah, but notebooks and clusters and this pipeline is different. It will be total dependent on ADF. But this
Yes.
notebook cluster is the Databricks.
Yes. So what is your question exactly?
No, no. Actually, my question is actually I have done project in IDEA, but I don't know any Azure Databricks because of separate team is working on Azure Databricks on the time.
Hmm.
Here, my more concern on Databricks only. Because of actually I'm from this SQL part and the ADF part and the Synapse part. Almost I have uh, a little bit I have working on my real time. But I
Okay.
need
Okay.
most occupancy with the Databricks part because of that Azure Purview also one new tool is came like a
Yes.
new
Yes.
technology.
Yes.
Yeah, that is the reason I am selected this
Basically,
work
what
in
happens
IT.
is to cut short this. Even what we generally do here is, suppose you're 9 o'clock, you're attending ADF now.
Yeah,
Parallelly, 8 o'clock, you will have
ADB.
ADV, and then
Okay,
morning 7 a.m. you will have the synapse. So in that way, you can just cut short the time as well.
okay, okay, okay. But is there any classroom training because of this
No,
online?
this online only.
Okay, okay, okay.
There
I
is
will
no
request to
offline.
that. But Databricks, how many days like different modules we have in Databricks because of that Python and PySpark. That is the reason I am trying to join full stack of Python. But here we don't want that much of Django's. These all will be it will be take of time and it will be for me it will be very complex. I am purely on database person. That is the reason I
Okay,
am.
okay. Uh-huh.
I need some suggestions from you. That is the reason I am asking. Like if
See,
it will be
basic.
okay, 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock and this 9 parallelly, then I need to check with them. They will accept or not. But how many days is completed that class? You are the only person to train these three.
Yes, yes, I'm the person.
Okay. Okay, just you confirm me, then I will start.
You can check with the management, they will tell you.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. So meanwhile, if you have any doubt also, you can just call me up directly. I'll
yeah,
provide
yeah.
you all my number as well. Okay. So you can
Okay.
just even if you have just ping me directly on WhatsApp, and as well as I'm available to
Here
take the
we don't
calls.
have any classroom trainings, correct?
No, I don't
Okay.
take it
Okay, okay,
because even I'm also working somewhere.
okay,
So even only the morning time is convenient for me. This is my number, guys. So if you want, you can just call me anytime. You take suggestion on this. Okay. Okay, guys. So that's it. Thank you, everyone. So we'll meet up on Monday.